How are you guys doing? Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. So, make una see my eye. Matter don dey ground. Now, at exactly 7:15, at exactly 7:15, Naira Marley's lawyers are going to be joining us live and story. And I'm going to ask much. I'm just going to allow them to talk, and when they're done, you will ask questions. So if you have any question for Naira Marley's lawyers, they're joining us at 7:15. That's why I'm trying so hard to make sure that everything is under control. So, Naira Marley's lawyers are joining us once again in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, Naira Marley's lawyers are going to be here. Let me get in touch with Kemi Olunloyo. Just in case I cannot get in touch with her. Oh, hello. I have a schedule for 7:15. She's saying she can only join us by 7, so she's going to be here 7 till 7:15. Femi Aderogba, I see you, brother. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen, pop my money guns. Double click the screen, follow my #1 gifter on TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, follow my #1 gifter. So, we're waiting for Kemi Olunloyo. I have about 12 minutes before she comes. I'm chatting with her right now. So I'm going to say some things in the 12 minutes that I have, unless she's here already. Is Dr. Kemi Olunloyo here? Okay. So once again, like I said, Naira Marley's lawyers are going to be joining us. Let me move this thing closer and then tilt this thing more so they can see my face. Okay. Naira Marley's lawyers are going to be joining me by 7:15. Kemi Olunloyo by 7. So we're going to have 15 minutes. World Fortunate just sent me a money gun. Keep those money guns popping. Double click the screen. Follow my #1 gifter. Coco Boy Music, how are you doing? So, okay, the story has evolved. I want to play the voice note. I played it earlier on from the police concerning the nurse. Now, there's an update from the police concerning Sam Larry. So let's listen to this from Sam Larry and the police. What's happened? Internet don't hook. Kilo shell by. Okay.
Possible complicity in the death of MohBad by Sam Larry and Naira Marley.
Okay.
During the investigation, series of allegations of bullying, threat to life, and possible complicity in the death of MohBad by Naira Marley and Sam Larry were raised from various quarters. This prompted the special investigation team to widen the scope of their investigation to that aspect. Several videos touching on the allegations were analyzed and witnesses were interviewed. Many of the witnesses earlier listed, as the 26 witnesses, many of them alleged that this deceased was indeed and several times by Naira Marley and Sam Larry and their families. It was affirmed that sometime in 2019, the deceased was allegedly signed by Naira Marley into a record deal and possible complicity in the death of MohBad, known as Malian Music Limited. Due to disagreement in terms of the contract, the deceased pressed for the revocation of his contractual relationship with Malian Music, while also pushing to relieve his then manager, who was a brother to Naira Marley. It was alleged that this moves eyed the suspects, who in consequence allegedly severally conspired allegations of complicity in the death of MohBad by pleading an alibi that they were both out of the country when the incident occurred, and they were not in any manner involved in the chain of events that occasions his eventual.
All right. So let us work with facts. Let us work with facts. Somebody saying autopsy in court. What do you expect the autopsy to come? You are expecting to see a rib of MohBad with Naira Marley signed on it. What do you think the autopsy is going to show? What do you really, from the beginning, what were you guys really thinking? What were you really thinking? Some people are saying for this life, get money. What has that got to do? As in, it's like Nigerians decide that they are not going to use their brain. One person came on my live and said, listen to what somebody came to type on my live. It's AJ's Glam. We'll be back at 7. This ain't it. My darling sister, you have been blocked permanently. Not restricted, not blocked for 24 hours. You have been blocked. You want to come back at 7 to the Instagram live that your father opened. I'm asking you. Or is it the YouTube live that your father is paying for? You are coming back at 7 for what? We are having a conversation. This is the issue why you remain mentally redundant. This is the why you are cerebrally compromised. Instead of you to sit down and listen to, you just want to come and hear the gist of Kemi Olunloyo and then go and continue in your perpetuation of buffoonery. You have signed a lifelong contract with stupidity. You have decided, any attempt, if you are going to be 50 in this your life, any attempt for you to stop being an oponu at 48 will be rejected by your internal system. Hopping up and down for gist, never sitting down to think. Let me ask you a question. Just like the police said, oh yes, Naira Marley and Sam Larry are definitely going to be held for the bullying and for, oh yeah, they're not just going to walk, oh, do you think that? No. But to robe them with a buy where they not buy person. Buy where they not buy person. Make you hang out for their neck. Unless they are proven guilty. Forget all these blogs jumping up and down trying to make a quick buck. I'm not talking about the genuine blogs that have been dedicating time to this, like Linda Ikeji, Insta blog, Gislover, Tunde Ednot. I'm talking about the mushroom blogs that are looking for that story they know the people are going to jump on. Someone say, as you mentioned Kemi, now make people come to my page. You were not there earlier on when Kemi said she was coming. She was supposed to come. I had to go out. So as I mentioned Kemi, let me tell you, I have Naira Marley's lawyers in 15 minutes. Naira Marley's lawyers are going to address us on my live in 15 minutes. All of you that have made up your mind. You see, that's why I was a bit careful from the beginning that Mo look this matter well. I was dealing, very dark black man did well. He did well in this case. He did well. He might have missed it out of 10 things. He must have missed 3 or 4. No, he must have missed 2 or 3. But there were some 7 salient points that he delivered. No, but even the police cannot be 100% here. From the very beginning, somebody say Insta blog will carry fake news. Let me tell you something. You don't know what news is fake until it is disproven. Even the police. Today they say person they wanted. Tomorrow they say the person show up for their office. You need to understand that daily the news evolves. As more light is shed on the matter, the news evolves. If you are watching on TikTok, double click the screen, pop my money guns. Very dark black man tried on this matter. Give it to him. He tried. Give it to him. Someone said not sure about him. He tried. You have to give it to him. In this, maybe another matter, or maybe previous matters, no. But this matter, no, you've got it. You've got to give it to him. Now, I am 47 years old. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not a millennial. The Pepper Room said his wife is innocent. Right now, unless otherwise proven, to me is looking like inside the murder case, the buy case, Naira and Sam are looking less culpable than even the wife. The wife was around him the last 48 hours. Anybody around him the last 48 hours is, I wouldn't use the word suspect, but like my friend who came earlier on said, is needs questioning. If Sam Larry and Naira Marley can prove that in the last 1 week to 48 hours before they buy, to the day when they buy this guy, they had no contact, as in they checked their phone, they did not make any call to anybody close to MohBad, they did not send any message, nothing was done, then from the pile, they go come out them. Doesn't mean they are not part of the bullying, no. Doesn't mean they are not part of harassment, too. But from the pile directly, it is unfair if they are unable to establish contact. That's why it was something I said, want a kun. In Yoruba means they don't buy, like when they won't do festival, they carry ram. They don't buy the ram. They don't divide them. Nine be this matter. They don't buy them, they don't divide them. Say, that's what it be. And nobody was willing to hear anything. No matter how we try to analyze it, no matter how we try to bring, according to the police, they're saying bullying and assault. But here's what I'm going to say. If these people are, I don't mean they are good people. Right now, Naira already has cases with the EFCC. From what I heard, the EFCC is looking for him. But it is still unfair for us to give him waiting he not do inside this matter. Inside this matter. And you see, I've been consistent. The only thing that changes is when a narrative changes, new evidence is brought to the table. I'm sitting down, there's a new announcement. I'm sitting down, and there's a new announcement that Prime Boy was declared wanted. We deal with it. The next day, Prime Boy don't show up. We deal with it. Somebody said, Daddy Freeze, where you did? I did somewhere nice. I chop a bar. And say, make my Uber man come from Ghana, make it come on. So, I'm waiting for Kemi Olunloyo at 7. Let me call her, because it's 7 on the dot. Someone said Sam Larry and Naira Marley contributed towards the abuse psychologically. They say person fight with his wife. Nurse don't give him injection. How that one take concern that abuse? I'm not saying that abuse is not relevant. I'm not saying it's not. But how do Nigerians link two things that are not related together? Can we all give a round of applause to Nigerian police and our CP? Wherever you are, give a round of applause to Nigerian police. Nigerian police have done very well. Nigerian police have done very well, and I'll explain to you why. Not only have they done their job, they have also kept us informed. Nigerian police have kept us informed. I'm gonna say this eat to reach granite. Eat to reach granite. Now they chop the granite. I want to load my money gun. Let me cock it and load it. Money gun me down. Me marry money gun. I don't see money gun again. TikTok, what you use our money gun do? Okay, I don't see him. I'm waiting for Kemi Olunloyo. Okay, she's sending a message. Please join live. Waiting for you. I too like granite. I don't know when I started to chop granite like this, and I know they chop granite as small picking. Also, Nigerian pastors, we no dey gree see anything. Now them, they make announcement wetin they not see. Okay, auto detailing. Nurses, now you'll be amazed that even this nurse might not have known anything about this whole matter. Her own just be say she don't just know book. She not just know book. Now be the nurse own. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed that if you be say that nurse no say no one buy him or anything. She not just know book. Now just to know do. And if it happen to any of you, doctors, do not attend to anybody professionally in an unprofessional manner. All right, we've got Dr. Kemi Olunloyo here. Dr. Kemi Olunloyo, we've been waiting for you. We have about 10 minutes because some people are supposed to join at 7:15. So let's hear from you, ma.
I did an extensive show on Twitter Spaces, and even me as a pharmacist, I was just impressed with myself. Why not? If you have any sentiments about this case, drop them now, because this case is more complicated. What killed MohBad was beyond the nurse. It's what we call a drug interaction.
Say what by MohBad? Sorry, going forward because of community.
Well, because of the thing.
Yes.
Okay. What by MohBad? What by MohBad goes beyond the nurse. It's what we call a drug interaction in pharmacy. First of all, the part with the party was misconstrued. I was the first person to announce that MohBad died of a drug-related overdose or something called opiates in his system. There were drugs in his system. Everything now comes together and makes sense after that press conference. CPOO did a fantastic press conference. Basically, bottom line is, many things we've assumed were not happening. Naira Marley, give him his royalties. Naira Marley, give him his money. That was all done. We didn't know. The people that did the concert and the sponsors, who people were complaining that they haven't said anything, they have. There were 26 witnesses, and they went and they spoke one by one. I want to shout out especially Soso Berekon and Cubana Chief Priest. MohBad had got his life together. I was the one that posted his business papers to the CAC. He created his own company and he started his new life. And this would have been his first MohBad concert, which is why I praise Soso Berekon and Cubana and I think it's the General Bitters, which is their brand. They gave him a second chance. What happened that night could have been avoided. Basically, this 10 minutes I have, I'm going to do it fast freeze. What happened was that at the end of the concert, MohBad was high. When I said high, I mean he was, CPO called it hyper. That's the word he used. We have consistently told artists that they don't need drugs to perform. Some artists said they need it to give them the energy. And I've spoken to MohBad on October 5th, 2022, this time last year after the fight, and he told me he used Molly a lot and tramadol. Now, whatever was in his system reacted badly with ceftriaxone, an antibiotic, which is like basically broad spectrum, kills a lot of infection. As they were leaving the country, MohBad wanted to stand in the SUV. They hired a Jeep, and the Jeep owner rented that for them. He wanted to stand up at the back of the Jeep and wave to the fans. You know, the area boys surrounded the car, the fans surrounded the car. With the area boys, you can't leave until you give them money. He wanted to do that, but Prime Boy did not want him to do that because it's dangerous. We've seen politicians get killed. Indira Gandhi, even the Pope. Anyone can shoot you for standing on top like that. So Prime Boy told him to get down. So he punched Prime Boy. He didn't want. He wanted to see his fans, everything. And he was impaired. They mentioned that in the press conference. As a result of that punch, Prime Boy had to punch him back. This is the situation in which, this is the reason why I said Prime Boy should never have talked to TVC. Because now he has created a profile for himself. Imagine him going to get a visa now at any embassy. All that stuff is on TVC. It was not necessary. Everything the police wanted you for, you should have gone to the police with your lawyer and talk, not to the media. Now that's there forever. Poster wanted 1 million. You can explain that at the embassy, where all the interviews was not necessary. I've seen it many times in America. So is trying to subdue somebody who's drunk or somebody who's high on drugs, and that officer doesn't have a weapon. Imagine the person that punches the officer. Without a weapon, the officer will call for backup. Okay, that's not the regular. Most officers have weapons. They have the condo baton. So what the officer will do is to subdue that person by punching them back and subduing them. And that's what happened. So Prime Boy literally punched MohBad back to get him down. So now he got down. And MohBad got angry and left the SUV, opened the door and came out of the SUV and punched the SUV. No, Freeze, you have to see the pictures.
No. Now, Kemi, this thing you are saying, can you prove it?
Yeah. No, it's not about proving. I was in the press conference live. He showed the picture. CPO showed the picture, and I'm trying to reach Shawara now because Sahara reporters are the only ones I follow. That picture was shown on the press conference, and you know the whole reporters we have in Nigeria. If I was in that press conference physically, I'll say, CPO, please, can you leave that photo on the table so we can all come and snap it one by one? I saw it. What MohBad did was when he now opened the SUV, they said he punched directly into the SUV, and the driver called the owner and said they've punched the car. The part where he punched was where the window, you know when you are standing outside an SUV, somebody's in the back seat, you want to grease them. You know, they will wind down. At one point, the window will go inside the car. Here, you know, when you want to wind up, the window will come back up. You know that place where the window now becomes part of the car, metal and glass? That's where he punched. So his hand was completely bleeding and damaged. He punched it hard. You have to see the picture. So that's why I said I'm trying to reach Sahara reporters, because somebody should take that picture inside that press conference and post it online. They will do that, but let's just see. If not, I would tell Ben Hundley. I've been on the phone, I've on WhatsApp messaging with Ben Hundley for 12 days. I helped the police a lot in this case. Now, what they now did basically was they rushed him home. He was supposed to go to the hospital. He said he did not want to go to the hospital. MohBad went home. He did not go to the hospital. When he got home, he wanted to be treated at home. The bleeding was really bad. Bad. When you're bleeding and you're losing blood, you're dying slowly. Go to the hospital, they said he refused.
How come we didn't hear this part of the story? Are you sure of this?
Because it's an investigation and it will be compromised. Even me, I heard some parts of it and I couldn't say anything. See, people say, oh, Cubana hasn't talked. So is quiet. Everybody, they were all there, 26 witnesses. Even Bella, remember I tweeted Bella Schmader, I said you must go into the police in 2 days. Police even tweeted and said we're waiting for you. All of them spoke to Bella, called, Mr. Latan went in there, everyone went in there. But when you're doing an investigation, you cannot compromise it. This is a social media trial. A lot of people are sentimental on social media. You saw the fight I had with Yabo in between there. Let's go on, because I only have the 10 minutes you said. Now, knowing that MohBad's hand had fragments of glass and metal. The first day he was bleeding a lot. Listen now, freeze. They called Fumi MohBad's nurse, private duty nurse. You know, private duty nurses make a lot of money. They're everywhere in the world. Nigerians go to London just to do that. So Fumi was not around, out of town. So they called Feishayo Ogedengbe, who was MohBad's friend's nurse. Now, Ogedengbe is nurse to Ayobami Sadiq, whose name is Spending. That's his nickname, Spending. Spending now called Feishayo, an auxiliary nurse. Feishayo was asked to treat MohBad in the house. She went to get the drugs. Believe it or not, all the drugs that lady got, they were right drugs. They were correct. And I'll go through them real quick. Yeah, she had the right combination, but the problem was that she was an auxiliary nurse. She can only administer those drugs supervised by a registered nurse, RN. You know that level of nursing? The UK has it, the US has it, LPN, GPN, RN, midwives. Just like we pharmacists, the pharmacy techs can dispense medicines. They can counsel my patient. If I'm tired and I see, when I was pregnant with KJ, I sat down here throughout and I was saying, go and tell that person, take it with food. But I'm the one that has to authorize the medicine to go out. You see what I'm saying? So she didn't do that. She was trained at an Ogun State clinic. The CMD for that hospital where she trained, she testified. The CMD people means Chief Medical Director of Perez Hospital, they all testified. Everybody came out to the police. They can't tell us that. Now, the CMD was the one that said, yes, we trained Feishayo here, but she's not allowed to be administering those IVs. Let me tell you the combination of drugs she got. There is a doctor on social media called Applauding Doctor, and there's another one called Dr. Olunloyo. They're on Twitter. I think Applauding is on Instagram too. In the coming days, I'm expecting them to do something about this because they're medical doctors that are social media savvy. But as a pharmacist and an investigative journalist, this is why I came out today and spoke to people. He got procaine, which is a local anesthetic, so the pain can go down. This boy is still bleeding. It wasn't infection. Now, she got iodine tincture. Iodine will clean the wound and will change it every 2 days. She got diclofenac, 75 milligrams SR. He'll take that every 12 hours for the pain. She got paracetamol. She was feeding that through an IV line, a drip. As she was feeding the paracetamol through the IV line, basically MohBad was restricted to a bed or a chair. So that as he's taking diclofenac and the procaine, when the pain comes, the backup pain will be the paracetamol. She had a fantastic combination. Finally, you need an antibiotic. Freeze. I just had my third foot procedure, and I'm on an antibiotic now because I'm having swelling. I have a soft tissue injury. You need an antibiotic. She chose ceftriaxone. This is where I blame NAFDAC. I've been shouting it forever. Regulate pharmacy. Regulate pharmacy. People are buying what they want. She went to the pharmacy and brought ceftriaxone. She added it to the IV line with the paracetamol. She did it well. The problem is that if she had a registered nurse, they won't put the ceftriaxone directly in the IV. They should try it intramuscular, IM, which means give it as an injection in the buttocks. If you give it as an injection in the buttocks, you can see there's going to be a reaction, but she ran it in the IV on her own. Now, MohBad started convulsing. He had what they call an anaphylactic reaction.
Shock. Anaphylactic
so he
shock.
went, yeah, anaphylactic reaction. Got to panic. So anaphylactic reaction will turn into anaphylactic shock, and you literally be in shock. You won't be able to move, do anything. As you're in shock, you're actually 80% by. So you get it. You still have 20% life. So when those boys were carrying him to the hospital and saying, you know, remember they were videotaping him. Something moved around his neck and they stopped videotaping. They didn't want us to see anymore. He was actually possibly 95% still, 5% still alive. So what now happened is, if you look at Naira Marley's questions, they're now valid. Where were you coming from? Where were you taking him? Who paid the Instablog to say he had ear infection? You see why Naira Marley posed those kind of questions? Who said they should say it's ear infection to a blog that will make it even viral? Wrong information went out. So, they now took him home. Why didn't MohBad go to the hospital? The ceftriaxone is a very, very potent and good antibiotic. We're using that for a lot of infections. He had a reaction to it. If they had been in a clinical setting, a hospital, freeze, they would have given that boy vasoconstrictors right away. Vasoconstrictors, epinephrine, EpiPen, ordinary EpiPen in America that will carry on us. If bee stings us, yeah, you know that EpiPen. If bee sting you, American bee, the yellow one, emoji bee, you know, they had it was though, you shook it like that. But they were not in a clinical setting. If MohBad had that anaphylactic reaction to ceftriaxone IV in a hospital, they would give him epinephrine right away and they pull the drip, but they were in a house. So they were now rushing into the hospital in that car.
And at that stage, from my understanding of medicine, if what you are saying is correct, I'm not saying what you're saying is correct before you come and hold me, he will have needed adrenaline straight to the heart.
So,
but an auxiliary nurse cannot inject a heart. That will have to be, from my understanding of
what's really happened. What happened was the reaction came in the IV line. You know, that nurse is going to get off if they go to court, and I'll tell you that now. This is the very important part. Anybody that wants to get this whole story, because Freeze is giving me 10 minutes to go to Twitter Spaces, I've put it there. Freeze, what is going on now is that they now rushed him to the hospital as a last-minute thing because the family believed he was still alive, which is what CPO said. CPO said the family said he was still alive, that they're not going to accept that he's dead. So in the car that we saw, Mumi and the nurse were in the back seat, and the guys were in the front seat taking him to the hospital. When they arrived at Perez, he was pronounced dead on arrival. DOA.
Pronounced by DOA.
By DOA in America, BID, brought in by in Nigeria. So at the end of the day, Freeze. It was that day, the 12th, that I posted at 8 o'clock in the morning, my own time. I was in Pacific at that time with my son. And it was Pacific time, but 8 o'clock Nigerian time. And I said, I'm very sad today. Please pray for me. I just got some bad news. I posted it, but I didn't want to be the one to announce. So by 4:30 Nigerian time, Perez Hospital declared him and they wrote the death certificate. Now listen, it was that day that I posted. And I said, a source from a hospital, I didn't mention the hospital because you don't want to narrow down on your source. A journalist must keep your source. A source told me that he had drugs in his system and that there were opiates in his system and he might have had a cardiac arrest based on those opiates. That's what somebody did. Somebody called from the hospital and messaged me and said, you are a good journalist, your work is viral, you need to put the truth out there because they're saying that somebody injected him in our hospital and it's not our hospital. Tell me your hospital, I won't tell anybody. The person won't tell me the hospital. So that reason I gave was right after all. But drugs in the system, what kind of drugs? At least if you bring a body in and they have to certify it, they have to at least take samples of the urine, put a catheter, see what was in the system. First thing, and they send it for toxicology. Now the authorities they've told us everything. What happened to MohBad? Basically, I don't want to say it insensitively, but I want to go out now. I have called people today. Freeze, Omone Nwoko, Regina's husband. I have sent him WhatsApp message. I said, Ned, we have to talk about this because if we're going to put anything in law, this is the pharmaceutical law that we need to put in. We have somebody in the National Assembly now, Ned's thing. Somebody has to sponsor this bill. Why? Because the third day, the day he was going to buy, this woman went to get something like HCT. They said it on the news conference. And the hydrochlorizer would have reduced his blood pressure, but it was too late. He had an anaphylactic. It was an anaphylactic shock. That's why he was still 90% alive. So what could have happened here, and this is what I think happened. Not only did he react to the ceftriaxone, which is unusual. I had 2 pharmacists in America watching with me on that news conference, and 1 journalist from Canada, all people. What happened is, he told Oladimeji Ilerioluwa, MohBad told me when he had the fight with Naira, the October 5th fight that I documented, that he used Molly. He likes Molly and Tramadol. So if Molly and Tramadol was inside him, 3,4-methoxy, dioxymethamphetamine, if Molly was inside him, ecstasy, MDMA, the antibiotic reacted with the drug inside his system. That's what I think happened here. So now they have to prove that. Because ceftriaxone antibiotic alone, okay, in an IV with paracetamol is unlikely to kill him. It was a drug interaction with one of the drugs in the system, which brings, wait. That part I mustn't lose my train of thought. Which brings me to why he did not want to go to the hospital. Why MohBad did not want to go to the hospital is that he did not want his vitals taken. If he goes to the hospital, they will take his urine and they will notice that there's drugs in the system. MohBad did not want anybody to know that he was still using drugs. He had told his family it was drugs. So that's why he avoided the hospital. He did not want to go. And now
no, but this is you assuming though, because this is you deducing.
Wait, not just deducing. The autopsy was read out. Okay. When the autopsy was read out, it was not read out by a pathologist or any form of a doctor. It was read out by a cop, a top cop, and he read it out of a paper. If you're a doctor, listen. This is why I'm saying Aproko and Olunloyo need to talk on Twitter, and I'm sure they will, and other doctors. If you were listening as a medical professional, and you are hearing, and see the combination of drugs this woman gave MohBad, she did her job, but she's not supposed to have infusing on her own. She's supposed to have supervision. If I were the RN, the registered nurse above her, I would tell her, give him ceftriaxone injection. Instead, give him IM. IM is a route, intramuscular, in the buttocks. Don't give him IV. It went straight into his veins. So if he had any kind of opiates in his system, it will react. One, the question is, why did MohBad want to go to the hospital? He was hiding something. Drugs were in his system. And once you go into a hospital and they take your urine, anything they find in there will be in the books. So that when there's an investigation of any kind, MTL knew, this doctor knew, it's public knowledge, those ones now. So that is what happened. He refused to go to the hospital. He refused to go to the hospital, and he died of what I would call a drug interaction. And the girl was so panicky, she ran to get the blood pressure medicine. It didn't work. So he died. That's why that now explains the scenario in the car. Meanwhile, the press conference. Naira Marley and what's the name of that guy? Sam Larry, they will be kept for 3 weeks. They might let them go before 3 weeks, but on the press conference, they said that they're going to be monitored because they're investigating the bullying allegations. Naira said it's paid all his royalties to him, everything, but the bullying allegations, they did a good job. They authenticated every single video. See why I said I'm not posting this video? I can't. You have to authenticate videos, date and time. Cost $5,000 to authenticate one video. They spent a lot of money on this investigation. I'm sure they've reached $8 million. So the doctors, the pathologists, all of the team did a good job. And what they found out was, yes, in fact, there was some form of bullying. You know what's going to happen with that? Larry will bring his big lawyer, Sam Larry bring his own, and then they'll say, she this boy fights, man to man, this. It doesn't matter now. What ultimately caused his demise was a drug interaction. As CPO said it, was the drug, the way CP said it was the drug that Miss Shara, let me just call her Miss Faye, the nurse, injected him. So now, we that were professionals in the field, we know that the medicines that she injected were a good combination, but MohBad reacted to the medications in a bad way. And why did he react to ceftriaxone like that? There's many cephalosporins. There's a group of drugs called cephalosporins. There's many cephalosporins we can use. Infection, makeup, and glass. Go to the hospital. Tetanus is not enough. Cocaine is not enough. And if you have something that goes bad, if that nurse was not with him and it happened in the middle of the night while he was sleeping and being infused, he would have been found by the house. But the lesson is this: please stop using drugs. Please stop abusing drugs. Please. These drugs have other interactions with some other things that you might have to be given. I said that to 2 people here today. I said, you guys, you're smoking weed, you're using tramadol, you're using money, you're using this. What if you get into a car crash in the next hour and they rush you to the hospital? What if the anesthesia reacts to the drug that you're abusing and you're not buying? That's the first thing. Number 2, you have to go to the hospital. So that was my own thing. So all the little side shows, the police said I shouldn't discuss the DNA anymore, that they'll take care of that. There's going to be another press conference, and that's going to be what's it called? What I call the nuisance press conference. You know what I mean by the nuisance? The nuisance press conference, Naira Marley and all, they've already told us, Naira and Sam Larry, they've given us hints that they're going to let them go, but they will be monitored by NIS. Nigerian Immigration Service is going to monitor Sam Larry when he goes out of Nigeria and when he comes in. They'll be monitoring him as he's coming in and going out. if somebody say I have a show in Kenya and has to go Kenya, they put the date down, everything. They have to monitor them. They're in and out. So they've said that one. Cubana chief priest, Soso Berekon, those two guys, they are humanitarians, no doubt. They did their part. And the kind of stuff I heard today, and even with Benjamin and I have been chatting for 2 weeks. I'm tired. Those guys did a good job because they simply did what they know from social media. They gave that boy a second chance. They put the show together for him. That was MohBad's show. But I just want to say to MohBad up there, like, drugs will die. Like, I keep telling the artists, should be the General Beaters, the brand that sponsored it. The General Beaters, boys, look at me doing endorsement for Cubana. I've always said this when I was in Aja. And you boys, all the area boys, our Aja boys, if you want energy in the morning, take your bitters and add it to malt. One kind of malt, 2 cups of bitter or yogurt, and drink it in the morning. Your energy will be so big and nice. Nothing else. So go on stage with that in your system. Not any drug, not. More use.
Whew. Network.
Rest in peace. Put more light.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Kemi. No, I need to start getting ready for Naira Marley's lawyers. So I'm going to end this live and come back in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay. They'll let him go because the only reason they're holding him is because of the punch that he used to control him. Do you understand now? That punch was basically, you see how I illustrated it. It's a police officer without a weapon. He'll have to punch you back to disarm you. And that's what angered MohBad, that he came out of the SUV and punched the car and ended up with the injury. The bleeding was too much. Let me try and go get the what's it called? The picture. I'll get the picture somewhere. I'll call Benny on Hyundai if we can release the picture to the media and the public.
At least let's release them to people like me. Let's see. So we have a different perspective.
Yeah, you guys, we need to see it. And look, while I'm on here, I want to thank, I just really want to do this from the bottom of my head, to thank Toto and, as much as I despise Toto and Ifiliapo, I want to thank them for all the work they've done. They will release the body, and I suggest, it's up to the family if they want to do an open casket or a closed casket. I suggest they should just do the ceremony for him and bury him well and let him go. And nobody should use that drug abuse on him. And we have to use it to teach others. Because, like I said, I told 2 people today that use drugs where I am right now. Stop using these things if you have an emergency. It happened where my cousin, they were being chased by police in 1982 in America. Olunloyo died in the same fashion. They were being chased by police on the highway. The car now crashed. The police now rushed everybody to the hospital. Anesthesiologist entered for the surgery and overcame him, gave him too much anesthesia, and he died. So they sued the hospital. They wiped out 6 million, but Polio was gone. Same thing with Michael Jackson. Michael kept telling the doctors to keep increasing the propofol for his comeback tour, and the comeback tour never happened. He overdosed it. Cherubami, Governor Adeleke, our very good family friend, Davido's uncle, the senator and the governor, he had back pain. He was infused at home with the pain medication, and the nurse was told to increase it a little. The nurse did, and he died. They went to the court with the nurse. Eventually, he was acquitted. You know, Whitney Houston, same thing. Everybody's coming back, come back, tour, come back. There's MohBad.
Okay, Dr. Kemi, please don't be angry. I need to run so I can come back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your perspective. Thank you so much for your perspective.
I'll be watching your guests. I'll be watching your guests and everything.
All right, then.
Guys, come to my Instagram midnight. I will do another show. Bye, Freeze. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kemi, and God bless you. Bye. All right, guys. So we're going to come back in a few minutes with hopefully Naira Marley's lawyers. I'm exhausted already. Wow. This thing goes so many places. Someone says we are not coming. I'll guarantee that, JP Morgan, you've been raptured, blocked, thrown into the pits of sulfur. You can never come back. All right, guys. So take good care of yourselves. I'm not going to make any comment until I'm going to let the story evolve. Okay? Bye, guys. Ooh.